Hello, people of the internet. I am Cadethian, and this time I have a Stellar Crown build and battle box to talk about. It's already open, so it's not really an opening video, but this was from a pre-release I went to, so kind of like the Twilight Masquerade one. I figured I'd talk about the pulls that I got and my experience at the pre-release, and show off the deck that I built. But anyway, if you haven't been, these pre-releases, you pretty much get one of these build and battle kits, which has 4 packs and then kind of like a brick of kind of a skeleton of a pre-built deck that you can use, and that brick is what has your pre-release promo in it. So for me, I got Driftblim. There's usually 4 different ones that you can get, and it's just random which one you get. And then the brick has the pre-built kind of deck more around a combination of 2 of the types, with the one that your promo is kind of being the dominant type in the deck. You also get this little set list thingy with a little checklist of all the different cards in the set, and then some little tips on how to build a deck and that kind of thing. It always makes notes that the rule of 4 doesn't apply. So like you can use as many Pikachus as you want, that kind of stuff. And I think it mentions that you can use your promo. But the main event, obviously, was the cards. So, like I said, the Drifblim was my promo, and then I got a bunch of other Drifblims, so I had 3 of them. I think this, I didn't... So I guess one thing to note for me was that I was the only person who showed up. So normally I would have played 3 battles with the deck afterwards and, you know, used the deck, but there was no one there. So the girl working there was like, do you want me to just refund you? Or do you want the cards? And it's like, to me, obviously, I want the cards. Because it's fun to get them ahead of time, even if I don't play with someone. But they also gave me some extra little promo packs and stuff, too, which was nice. And I took the time to sit and open the cards and build a deck as if I was going to play. So the kind of gimmick with the deck that I built was pretty much just enhancing the little pre-built brick, but the Driftblim's got everybody explode now. So it's just doing more damage for every Driftblim or Drifloon you have in play. So you just bum rush as many as possible. The downside is you're doing 30 damage to yourself every time, which is questionable. Also, there was this Ladybug and Ladian line in here, which isn't great, I don't think. But I guess it's got a kind of a gusting effect with this ability when you evolve the Ladybug, and none of the attacks actually cost any colored energy, so they were pretty splashable. And Swift just does 70, which is okay in a pre-release. It's not like stellar or anything. But I did get enough for a Vikavolt line, which I thought was cool. So I had some Grubbins, and then I had the Charge-a-Bug, and then I was going to hope to evolve up to this Vikavolt, which could do a bunch of damage if you got it going. And I also had a Zerora, which does just 20 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, but it's got a decent amount of HP. And that was like the bulk of the Pokemon. I think I took out some other Pokemon I can't remember at this point. But yeah, I was just going to do like a Lightning and Psychic kind of thing, just focusing on the Driftblims and getting the Vikavolt going. Of course, you get a bunch of trainer cards, so I just threw in anything that would have been reasonable. Some of these are older, like Moonlit Hill is from... Is that Paldean Fates? Interesting. Nest Ball, Bug Catching set. And the Grass Energy I have in here would have been Lightning Energy had I needed to actually build a deck, but I wasn't going to go up and be like, hey, can I have Lightning Energy? When I wasn't actually going to use anything. And then Psychic Energy. And that came out to 40 cards, because in the pre-releases it's just the little 40-card decks. Then I think this is the rest of the cards. I might have left something in some of my stuff. But yeah, I had removed a Ladian and a Ladybug. Cycling Road. I think I was kind of low on energy in the deck, so I was removing a few of these. So it's like I don't want to be discarding, and it helps my opponent too. I didn't have any Terra Pokemon, so Briar didn't make any sense. But then I think the rest is just the rest of my pulls, which wasn't terribly interesting. Oh, my arm's tired. Wasn't terribly interesting, at least for the first 4 packs. So, you know, just kind of common stuff. Iron Boulder, Glass Trumpet, which I think is only useful for your Terra stuff. So it's like if you didn't pull a Terra, some of the trainer cards were just kind of useless, which was disappointing. Pangoro, Hoot Hoot. I did also like, I noticed that the energy cards have this new pattern to them. So they've got kind of like a refracted crystal kind of thing, which makes them prettier than just, you know, the bog standard energy cards that you would get. Area Zero Underdepths, I think, is a card that might see some play in the future, just because the kind of expanded bench is such a huge deal, especially when there's cards out there that deal more damage based on a bench space. I remember like the Eternatus V and VMAX kind of had an ability that played like that, where if all your Pokemon were dark types, you could have a huge, like, 8 Pokemon bench. And I think, what is, like, Skyfield or something? Whatever that stadium was from, like, Roaring Skies. Or maybe, I don't remember if it was or maybe the Rayquaza EX, the Mega Rayquaza EX had an attack or an ability that did damage based on your amount of bench Pokemon. So there was a deck around that. So I could see Area Zero Underdepths definitely getting some play if Terra Pokemon get play. Kind of some regular pulls. Kind of a cool reverse Celebi. Mewtwo reminds me of the one that was in that Halloween set. And I think I am missing some of the cards. Yes. Excuse me just a second. I should have those other cards on the other end of my table, but I gotta get up. Ugh. This is the deck box that I use for my main deck. Yeah, it looks like I stuffed those extra cards in here, and they're the interesting ones. But out of the packs at the end, I pulled a Greninja and a Doxbun. So those were kind of the 2 interesting pulls, neither of which are super exciting for me. I don't really care for either Pokemon. I mean, Greninja's okay. I'm big on the grass-type starters, so Greninja never really does too much for me. But, like, even just as a competitive card, it looks dull. It's a coin flip card. No, like, interesting abilities, just a lot of HP. So, like, Doxbun's okay. I'm not a huge fan of, like, dog Pokemon either. I would have really liked the Venusaur EX. And I saw in the little book that came with the Elite Trainer box that there's a Bulbasaur art rare that looks really cool. I would like to have gotten that one too, but oh well. And then, as kind of a thank you for coming, they gave me 3 of the different, like, play Pokemon packs. So I got this Holo Future Booster Energy Capsule. I got this cool Holo Lightning Energy with kind of the Cosmos Holo Foil with some spirals or swirls. I got a Bax Caliber, the Reverse Energy. Someone was using this card against me, I think, in the Iron Thorns deck the last time I was in League, and that was a huge pain in the butt. Basic Lightning Energy. Cool Holo Ultra Ball. Ooh, this Curly is Holo. And then I got a Forest Seal Stone, which I think has plummeted in value. I feel like it used to be like $10 for a copy. But this is my 3rd copy of this, so I'm really happy about that. So I think now I can build the decks that are no longer viable, but required 3 of these. Jet Energy, Curlia, Grass Energy, Holo's Trekking Shoes, and Damage Pump. One of the other Steel Stones, Collapse Stadium, Feather Ball, and then just a regular Fighting Energy. So all in all, it was a good time. I got some decent cards out of the deal. I always just do a pre-release, you know, just to get some of the new cards. And yeah, the deck that's in here right now is Lost box, which I don't have a prime catcher, so I was just using that. So I got an evolution switch card, a cool boss's orders hollow. Yeah, Iron Hands is fun. Blood Moon, Ursa Luna, my cool Iron Thorns. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing and also nice that there was no one there because I could just kind of open my cards in peace and then skedaddle, and I had my day back to myself instead of having to spend like 2 hours sitting and chatting with people, which, if you're in the mood for, is great. But I'm not always in the mood for that kind of thing. And I think I wanted to go home and do some other stuff. I think I took the cats outside. So that was nice. But kind of weird that nobody showed up. I think it was because it was the second weekend of the pre-releases, and the first weekend had been Labor Day weekend, where I was out of town, which is why I couldn't do it that first weekend. So I had to go to a store I don't normally go to and do it there. And then I think everybody must have done it over Labor Day weekend, so there was no one left who wanted to actually do it. And maybe it's just not like a great set or something. I don't know. I didn't really see super popular Pokemon when I was going through. I don't know how popular like Cinderace is. And like the Blastoise and Venusaur are cool, but they're just regular EXs. They're not like any alt arts or anything like that. I guess there's Lapras. I don't know. I don't know how popular Terapagos is. It's kind of too new for me to have a handle. I think Terapagos is cool. I thought it was cooler than Ogerpon. Ogerpon is just kind of dull looking, I think. But the story around Ogerpon in the games was nice. You kind of had it leading you around, and the kind of Loyal 3 storyline was cool. But, yeah. So that was my pre-release experience for Stellar Crown, which was pretty not typical from my pre-release experiences. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, different events are different. And you don't always encounter the same kind of things, or I guess anybody at all. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.